back to Point Blank. We're on the topic of Hot Wheels, fast cars, and how people Zhng their cars. Well, before we continue, let's take a quick look at what you've been commenting on our website. Let's take a look first at Mars Bar.
Okay, Mars Bar says the government should have opened up the F1 track after the race for locals to do a couple of rounds. After all, the track was ready for use. Just charge each driver some money. I'm sure they won't mind paying to race on the F1 track.
And a bit higher, Ninja said, considering Singapore is so small, it's amazing we actually managed to create an F1 racetrack. Is there any place in Singapore for a go-kart track even?
There is one in Jurong,
There
right?
is.
Yeah,
I've go-karted before.
Yeah,
so
me
that's
too.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. The two of you here who are drifters, do you think that it's true that the government should have opened up the F1 track, for locals after that?
Actually, they did. Before the F1 race, there was a support race, so we actually had 3 local drivers from Team Singapore racing during the event.
So there was a side race on top of the F1 race, but such races are not cheap to enter.
How much do you have to pay? Like a price range or something?
You need to actually purchase the vehicle first, and then what happens is the team would be provided for you.
Okay, so you have to buy the car from them.
You have to buy the car from them, and then they help you to run the race.
So what if I had like a car and then I wanted to enter it, I couldn't do it?
You have to purchase the factory car.
Okay. So if you brought your own wheels, then you
No,
can't.
they wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a lot of part of the publicity for the company as well, right?
Yeah, true.
Yes.
True. Yeah.
Okay, and therefore the people in our previous segment who were mentioning in the video that there's no place for local races in Singapore, except for in places like that where a lot of money goes in.
Yes, correct.
You have got to have a lot of money to be in this sport. Do you agree?
Yes, you need to.
To a certain extent, yes.
Racing
cars,
is
right?
one of the most expensive sport around. That's why for racing you will always need sponsors to help cover your expenses.
Yeah, even yourself, you have sponsors covering you when you go for Formula
Definitely.
Well, let's take a quick look at the web comments again.
Red
Devil 72 says,
fast cars equals to more accidents. The temptation to speed in these cars will be too much to resist. Otherwise, why get a fast car? I think it's really irresponsible of such people.
Yeah, so why the do you think it's only a social stigma that fast car drivers have to face, or it's an issue of
driver?
Really, why would you need a fast car in Singapore unless you intend to speed?
I guess for car enthusiasts and those who like racing, you actually enjoy the power of the vehicle, not because you want to win a street race or anything, but you just enjoy driving a little faster, going through the corners a little faster. So you tend to drive a little faster. But then again, most enthusiasts are normally sensible and they know what they're doing, and it's actually the younger ones or those who do not have much experience who actually tend to crash more.
So it depends more on the driver than the actual car.
Yeah, on the car itself, correct.
So it's always a mentality. If you have a fast car, it doesn't mean you always have to drive it fast. True enough, most of our so-called souped-up cars, we can accelerate much faster than most of your regular saloon cars out there. So the perception that we are going faster is already, you can say that's part of the stigma.
But look at it this way. You have a wonderfully souped-up car. You've tuned your car well. Your engine is more powerful than any other car on the road you're driving on. And then you have to drive at 60 kilometers per hour. Is that frustrating for you as a driver?
No, it's cool.
It's okay.
It's safe.
Yes.
It's safe. Huh?
safe.
You're not just saying that because you're on a show.
No, it's safe actually. It actually helps road safety because some drivers actually they do not have much control of their vehicle. So if you allow like maybe all the speed limits to be maybe like 100, 110, then I guess it'll be a bit dangerous because in Malaysia along the highways you can actually see a lot of accidents.
That's right. There have been a couple of pretty bad accidents along the highway in Malaysia as well. Well, I think you must be dying to see how these two cars have Zhng their cars. Look, you listen to them talking about, our cars
are real cool. And
seeing is believing. So let's just have a look at their Hot Wheels. Modify your wheels, pimp your ride, or Zhng your car, as Singaporeans normally call it. Well, whatever its name is, a lot of work has been going on underneath the bonnet and all around. So let's just make the two guys, I-von and Colin, pop their bonnets and show me what's underneath.
Under the bonnet is your standard FR20 DET engine. Well, to date, I think not much has been done to the engine performance yet. All the stuff that's been done to this car has been areas that you can't see with your own eyes actually. Stuff like the suspension, the rear LSD, in the rear gearbox at the back, called the LSD. Normal silver wouldn't come with things like a strut bar to improve the stability of the car. It wouldn't come with a adjustable pillow ball mount to adjust the angles of the suspension. You can adjust it basically in and out. It's got a huge radiator. Okay, most radiators are about wee size. So you can imagine the cooling efficiency has been increased greatly with this radiator.
What's the point of heightened cooling efficiency?
Okay, during drift we keep our cars at quite high revs, and that generates a lot of heat. So without a enlarged radiator, temperatures climb very quickly, and that's rather harmful for our engines. So this keeps the car, even on running days, it keeps it about 78 degrees Celsius. If not, the car typically runs at about 90 degrees. That's a oil cooler. So an oil cooler combined with a bigger radiator, these two overall help to keep the temperature of the car lower than usual. I've installed a bucket seat. Now, it's a rigid, full, non-adjustable in terms of its back. Alright? It keeps the driver in a very comfortable upright position in the right seating posture so that he's always ready to react to the driving conditions. This little fella over here, what it does is, most people just has a regular handbrake, right? This locks the front brakes. During some drift events or drift performance demos, I could lock the front brakes and do what we call a burnout. Most handbrakes would be a little spring device, but mine, if you notice, the spring doesn't work at all. What this allows me to do is that I can drop the handbrake and lift it up without it locking at all.
Okay.
So during middle of a drift, I can control the handbrake in a corner without fear of the handbrake locking up on me unnecessarily. What you won't find on most, I would say, street cars as well, is a full roll cage. This, in the event, which I hope never happens, should the car flip over on its roof, will keep me alive and prevent the roof from crushing down my head. So I will cantilever myself over and into the seat.
Okay.
Where?
Just so you can get into your car.
That's right. So I just have to turn, and there you go. It locks.
Is this legal?
Which one?
Is everything legal?
Pretty much, actually. Well, here. I always like to keep this in the glove compartment just in case.
LTA sets.
LTA sets.
Well, nice wheels, Colin.
Thank you very much.
Let's go and check out what Ivan's wheels look like. Come on. Alright, Ivan, your wheels. How did you turn your car?
Bigger radiator. It's required for drifting because it gets really hot. And then we need an oil cooler as well, which is the bigger size one, because drifting is basically your sideways all the time, so you do not get much air going through the front of your car. And then I've converted the fan to an electronic fan, which is the standard one is a clutch fan. So basically it's faster, cools the car down much faster. And then I have a bigger turbocharger, which is over here, which is below. I have a pair of camshafts. I have a metal head gasket. It allows us to take higher boosts because the stock gasket wouldn't be able to take higher boosts. Nismo Speedo cluster, which shows you a speed of up to 280. It's a drifter's favorite because it's deep and it's closer towards us. So we have actually more control of the car while drifting. That is FC Commander. It's basically it's a window to your ECU. It tells you your water temp. You know your throttle position, your injector duty cycle. It's actually for tuning the car. It's linked to the ECU.
The car you just showed me is your daily driving car.
Yes,
though it's
correct.
pretty much souped up. Do you race with that car?
No, not really.
Not really, but
Yeah.
so what's the car you usually race with?
The Toyota Chaser.
The Toyota Chaser.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us how different this is from your already souped up car?
Okay, it's fully stripped out. It has much higher horsepower. This one has about 540 horses, whereas my road car is about 390. And basically this car runs much lower. There's a fiercer body kit.
This car car is not allowed on the road.
Oh yeah, correct. It's not correct.
So how do you guys bring
We tow it around.
So it's got to be specially towed around, not allowed on the road.
Yeah, correct.
See, I'm sure we all want to know how a car that's not allowed on the road, because so much has been modified, looks like under the bonnet. So maybe Ivan can show
Cool.
us.
Let me show you the engine.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, this is a 1J, 2.5 litre turbocharged. Basically, you run a much bigger turbo. We have, of course, we have oil cooler as well, bigger oil cooler, bigger radiator. The cams have been changed. Has a metal head gasket. This is an inline 6-cylinder. That's why it looks much longer. This car, it's illegal because the door is made of fiber. This is a fiber door, and basically it runs plexiglass all around. So it's not street legal, and of course you have a roll cage in the car.
Why is it so much stripped down inside?
To keep the weight down, basically, because the lighter the car, the better it is for racing. The rear brakes are from the Toyota Supra, and the front actually is a Ferrari F40 caliper.
There's another reason why this car is illegal.